Java is a case-sensitive language. Case-sensitive means that the syntax, the words our computer understands, must match the case. Well, when writing a print statement, you have to make sure that system is capitalized and out and print aren't. Let's go over our file called hellolesson.java. First, let's look at the comment. This single line comment, the compiler will ignore everything past the 2 slashes. And remember, comments provide information outside the syntax of the language. Let's move on. In Lesson 1, we took a short view of classes. Let's dive deeper into them and what they are. This is the class of the file. All Java programs are made of at least one class. Every Java program must have a method called main. A method is a sequence of tasks for the compiler to execute. This main method holds all instructions for our program. Our next part of the unit is variables. Variables are used whenever there is a need to store a piece of data and ensure code reusability. Let's move on. Variables are used whenever there is a need to store a piece of data. Variables also give context and meaning to the data we are storing. The value 42 could be someone's age, a weight in pounds, or a number of orders placed. By naming the variable, we can understand what we are storing. In Java, we are required to specify the type of information we are storing, called primitive data types. These primitive data types are types of data built into the Java system. The 3 main types we will cover are integer, double, and Boolean. In this unit, we will introduce these built-in types. When writing Java, we must declare a variable before assigning it. Declaring a variable requires that we specify the type and name. Quick little reminder, variables do not have to have any value. But if you wanted to assign a value to a variable, we use an equal sign between the name and the value, with a semicolon at the end.
Now age has a value of 85. When code is used to represent a fixed value, like 85, it is referred as a literal.
It is also very common to declare a variable and assign it a value in one line. The first type of data we will learn is the whole number. Whole numbers are very common in programming. You often see them used to store ages or maximum sizes or even the number of times a code has been ran. And there's very many other uses you can use these for. In Java, whole numbers are stored in the integer primitive data type. Well, integers could be used as ints in Java. Well, ints hold positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0. They do not store fractions or numbers with decimals in them. Integers or ints hold numbers between negative 2 billion and positive 2 billion. Well, actually, I have no clue what you would use that big of a number for. But yeah, you get the point. Well, if whole numbers don't accomplish what we need for every program, what if we wanted to store the price of something? We need a decimal point. What if we wanted to store the world's population? That number could be larger than the integer type can hold. Well, the double primitive data type can help. Double can hold decimals as well as very large and very small numbers. Well, you know what? You can look up how much they can hold, because I don't even know where to start on saying that number. To declare a variable of type double, we use the double keyword in the Declaration of Independence. Often our programs will face questions that can only be answered with a yes or no. Is that oven on? Is that light green? Did I even eat breakfast today? Well, these questions are answered with a Boolean. type of whatever you freaking call it. But that type references one of the two values, true or false. When declaring one of these three types, we have to declare it in front of our variable name. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but we're going to move on to today's scripture. We're going to start off from where we last ended, and we will read to the end of the chapter. Well, this is Genesis chapter 1, the story of creation. I believe we read to the beginning, from the beginning to the third day, or the end of third day. Let's start reading the fourth day. The fourth day, God said, I command lights to appear in the sky and separate day from night, and to show the time for seasons, special days, and years. I command them to shine on the earth. And that's what happened. God made two powerful lights, the brighter one to rule the day and the other to rule the night. He also made the stars. Then God put these lights in the sky to shine on earth, to rule the day and night, to separate light from darkness. God looked at it and liked what he had done. Evening came, and then morning. That was the fourth day. We're going to read one more day. The fifth day. God said, I command the ocean to be full of living creatures, and I command many birds to fly above the earth. So God made the giant sea monsters and all living creatures that swim in the ocean. He also made every kind of bird. God looked at what he had done, and it was good. Then he gave the living creatures his blessing. He told the ocean creatures to live everywhere in the ocean, and birds to live everywhere on the earth. Evening came, then morning. That was the fifth day.